Can you just set up a company in Dubai and pay no tax? I'm getting asked this question daily from UK business owners who are sick of paying high corporation tax and high income tax. And look, for the most part, yes, it is possible to save tax by moving your company to the UAE. However, here's what no one's telling you about how to do this properly to avoid getting in trouble with HMRC. My name's Rayhan Mogul. I'm a chartered accountant and the founder of Sidekick Accounting. In 2024, I moved to the UAE, but I continue to run my UK business. In this video, I'm going to break down how international tax planning can work between the UK and the UAE, why Dubai has become the go-to destination for entrepreneurs and high earners, and most importantly, what you need to know before you make a decision about whether or not you are going to move your business and maybe yourself to Dubai. So if you're running a business in the UK, tired of handing over huge chunks of your profit to HMRC, but don't know what to do about it legally, this video is for you. Let's start with the obvious question: why Dubai and the UAE over any other low tax jurisdiction out there? You've got places like Belize, Panama, and the Cayman Islands where you can pay no tax. But here's the thing, Dubai has been built for lifestyle. First off, the UAE is probably the easiest place for investors and business owners to set up shop, get their residency, and pay very, very little tax for a fraction of the cost of your traditional tax havens. We're talking thousands of pounds to get you set up rather than tens or hundreds of thousands in more traditional tax havens. Second, the infrastructure is world-class. It's incredibly safe. You have every convenience you can imagine. And on top of that, when you have a business set up in Dubai or the UAE and the UK, it adds credibility to you versus having a company in the Cayman Islands, which may look dodgy to potential clients and other larger corporates. And third is taxes, which we're going to go deep into. At a top level here in the UAE, you'll pay anywhere from 0% to 9% corporation tax on your profits, and you'll pay zero income tax. That's tax-free salary, dividends, and even capital gains. So there's a few reasons why Dubai over other tax havens. Now let's jump into the taxes specifically. In the UK right now, companies pay 25% corporation tax on their profits to HMRC. The business owner then pays taxes of up to 45% to take that money out and use it. The net impact is you're effectively paying up to 60% tax on your earnings before you're able to use them. Now, if we look at the UAE, depending on what business you're doing, where your clients are based, and where you're set up, you can pay 0% corporation tax. But even if you are taxable in the UAE, the maximum you'll pay is 9% corp tax. When you become a UAE tax resident, personally, the money that you extract from that company is completely tax-free. So you're comparing effectively 60% of your earnings being taxed in the UK before it's in your personal name and able to be used, versus 9% at a top end in the UAE, but in some instances, 0%. So if you're a business owner in the UK that's making 2, 3, 500,000 pounds of profit, the savings are substantial. We're talking about a wealth building opportunity here that can change your life and your family's life, and a lifestyle that you can only dream of when you are paying 60% of tax on your earnings. So the next question you might be asking is, why doesn't everyone just set up a Dubai company? It's cheap, it's easy, and there's 0% tax. Well, here's the big misconception and lie that a lot of UK business owners are being told by UAE-based company formation agents who have no understanding of the UK HMRC jurisdiction. To make it really simple, in 99.9% of cases, you cannot just set up a Dubai entity, start invoicing your clients and taking payments through it, while you're still sat at your kitchen table in Manchester running your business. Try doing this, and in a couple of years' time, you're going to have a very expensive conversation with HMRC, and here's why. There are two distinct concepts that you need to get your head around. The first is your personal tax residency, and the second is your corporate tax residency. Your personal tax residency is relatively straightforward. It's based on where you spend most of your time throughout the year. In the UK, typically, if you don't spend more than 90 days within a tax year in the UK, you can be classed as a non-UK tax resident, which means HMRC do not expect you to pay income tax in the UK. Now, this is very oversimplified, so make sure you speak to an accountant about your specific situation, but that's the concept. You would then pay your personal taxes wherever you are a tax resident. For example, if you had residency in Dubai, you would need to spend a certain amount of time here, and you will then qualify for your 0% tax. Now, your corporate or company tax residency is a completely different conversation. It's based on where your company is managed and controlled rather than where it's incorporated. Basically, your company profits will be taxed where big decisions are being made, where contracts are being signed, where board meetings are held, where most of your clients are based, and where any other control and management of the company occurs. So if you're sitting in the UK making all of these decisions, but your corporate entity is offshore somewhere, here's a wake-up call. HMRC is going to argue that that company is a UK corporate tax resident and therefore is due to pay UK corporation tax on its profits. So you can't have your cake and eat it. You can't be a UK tax resident with your company based in Dubai and pay no tax. So how do you do it properly so you can benefit from a low tax jurisdiction and pay no tax? Well, if you want to benefit from the Dubai tax system, you need to show that your business is being run from Dubai. That means spending significant time in the UAE, which is 6+ months a year. You need to have board meetings here, make decisions around the company, and basically demonstrate that the business is controlled, managed, and run from Dubai and not the UK. Now, I'm not saying you can never visit the UK. Many of our clients will spend 6+ months in Dubai, particularly during the winter months when the UK is miserable anyway. They'll spend up to 3 months in the UK, and the rest of the time they'll travel. Dubai is perfectly placed for traveling both sides of the world. The most important thing in all of this is to be able to prove the substance of your arrangement. You need to be able to prove to HMRC that what you've set up is not just a tax avoidance scheme. The good news is when it's done properly and you've got the correct advice, it works incredibly well. Our clients are able to take profits and pay themselves completely tax-free because they have a legitimate setup across the UK and Dubai. And finally, you might be thinking, that's all great, Rayhan, but is it right for me? And the short answer is this isn't for everyone. If you're just starting out in business and doing less than 6 figures a year in profit, you might find that the costs of running the company here outweigh the tax savings you get. If your entire life or business is tied to being in the UK, this probably isn't the right move for you either. However, if you're an established business owner, especially an online remote business owner, and you're genuinely interested in building long-term wealth, retaining more of what you earn, and being in an environment that inspires and promotes entrepreneurship rather than stamping on it, could be a great move for you. The key thing I need to remind you of is this is not a tax-saving strategy primarily. You need to physically move and uproot your life and live in a different country. It's a complete lifestyle change for you and your family, and that's why you absolutely need proper advice from a qualified tax professional in the UK and the UAE tell you how things can work for you. The rules are complex, they're constantly changing, and the cost of getting it wrong is huge. That being said, I've made the move myself. I am in the UAE with my business running in the UK. I've helped dozens of other business owners do the same. If you want to get some specific advice about this, there's a link in the description. Click it to book a call and we can have a chat about whether this can work for you. As always, if this video was useful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more content like this.